Terance Laboucane was found deceased on June 13, 2023 in her Mineskin First Nation in Musqueam, just south of Edmonton in Alberta. According to Alberta RCMP, Laboucane's death is being treated as a homicide but would not share any details with APTN News. The RCMP would only say the investigation is still active. Terance's mother is also very critical of the Alberta RCMP and says a public press release about her son's death was never released. Christine Ajikute spoke to Dorothy from Lloyd Minister recently. Here's that interview.
Dorothy Laboucane, thank you for speaking with us, and I'm very sorry to hear that there has still been no arrests made since your son's passing in June of 2023. Can you tell us what happened before your son Terance Christopher Laboucane was found deceased in Ermineskin First Nation in Musqueam, Alberta? I understand he was homeless at the time.
Yes, he was homeless. And the thing I don't know is all I know is that there was a party in Ermineskin, and what happened at that party I don't know. But on June 13th, my son was found under a mattress, and there's five of them that are involved. And on June 14th, I had made a missing persons report. June 15th, I was notified that he was deceased and that he was found. And how they knew about his who he was they had to do a fingerprint on his left hand, which he was already pretty much very decomposed.
Dorothy, can you tell us where the RCMP is at in their investigation in finding who may be responsible for your son's death?
They have 3 possible suspects. They are trying to get the other 2. And they said they had a bunch of like cameras and phones and tablets or whatever, which they were getting all the evidence from or whatever. And that's basically all I heard, except for now that you guys are involved, the media is involved, the constable, or not the constable, the sergeant came, the homicide sergeant came and seen me this morning to cover his tracks after 2 years. Came from Edmonton to see me. Dad Don Smart. And I asked him a bunch of questions, and basically told me the same thing that he's been telling me for the past 2 years.
Yeah. Based on what you told us at the time, the Alberta RCMP didn't put out a press release to notify the media and public about your son's death. How has this decision made by the RCMP impacted you and your family?
And
I understand it's been very hard. It's been very hard for you.
Knowing that when my son was found, he was a John Doe. And I think of how many other parents have gone through this and not knowing that their child is a John Doe somewhere and some weren't. And how and why. So many unanswered questions.
Yeah. Dorothy, I understand Terance leaves behind a wife and children and he would have turned 38 this year. Can you tell us what kind of person Terance was?
Terance loved his family. He loved his kids, his siblings, me, his dad. He was a very carefree person. He did everything he could for his children and his ex-wife. And they did communicate with each other about the kids. And the youngest one was 12 when he passed. He was killed.
Dorothy, what is your message to Alberta RCMP? What do you want them to know about this investigation?
I want them to know that I have every right to know what exactly they're doing, how they're doing it, and what other steps they're going to take besides not tell me what exactly is really going on. Because they're afraid that I'm going to go tell the whole world or I'm going to go vigilante. I don't know, but I want the answers, and I want to know that those people are going to get caught.
Dorothy,
where's my son's file? Somewhere.
Yeah. Dorothy, we'll have to leave it there. Thank you for your time on this.
Yeah. Thank you.